Hey Pisces, Starseeds, it's Sweet Spirit Mystic. Donuts in the background if you're hearing some snoring. Let's see, I wanted to tap into Pisces that deal with some kind of romantic relationship. Those types of readings don't really show up on this channel that often, but I wanted to be more direct. If we're dealing with a romantic partner. Speaking of partner, I was thinking about Dolly Parton. And her husband passed away in March. And they'd been, I think, married for like 60 years. But what's so fascinating is she was so high profile and he was like a hermit. But it worked. For them, and he was the homebody, and she was out being Dolly Parton. So I don't know, there's something about that. It's like finding the type of relationship that works for you, that's unconventional in a way. From what I was reading, they had not an open relationship, but this emotional freedom where they both, had crushes on other people. And you think about it, it's real life. Just because you have like a soft spot for someone doesn't mean you ever do anything with them. It's very much Piscean energy where we have the ability to fall in love with people in an innocent kind of way. It's not a lustful way where we want them all the time, but it's just nice to have that warm fuzzy feeling. And I feel like you do that with your friends, with people you meet, and that's a gift. It's not a fault. So we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Star. So the Knight of Cups is an energy that's romantic. Buys flowers before paying bills. Loves giving and doing and romance, chivalry, things like that, which may be dead in some aspects in the world, but I still believe in it. And with the Star card, I feel like it's very much that your energy is that. It's romantic. And since we're all starved for it in the world, there are a lot of people that probably come to you wanting to feel that. Eight of Pentacles. It's part of your work. Or people fall in love with you at your job, wherever you see people often. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all need more love in our life. And people that bring that out in us. In the past versions of myself, I've done that a lot. It's like reawakened that part of someone that turned cold. Like reawaken that love in someone. And then, they might think they're in love with me, but then they go and they meet someone that's right for them. So maybe people have come to you, wanted some kind of romance, and then they met someone else, and then they come back and say, hey, it was because of you. You opened me up again. So King of Swords, air sign energy, Aquarius, Gemini. Oh, what's the last one? Hold on. My mind is completely blank. Libra. So, who is this King of Swords? Very contemplative. Like looking very, lost in thought. Probably about you, Pisces. Who's this King of Swords? Six of Pentacles. generous of spirit, or you've given them that, realization, oh wait, I can feel love again. Page of Swords, they've been watching. Maybe it's that crush from far away, because we think it's just something for young people, like teenagers, early 20s. But it's out there for everyone. Like, I've met people who've reconnected with, like, their high school sweetheart after, like, 30 years. And they tell me that they still feel that Twitter-pated excitement when seeing this person again, even though they're both older. Not spring chickens, right? Like, we always assume that it's just our exterior that people fall in love with, what we look like. But it's more than that. It's how we feel, how we make other people feel. Conversations. Someone that wakes your mind up. Wow, 10 of Cups. She just scooted herself under the bed so she'd be out of the sun. Okay, 10 of Cups. So, people that make you feel like family, like you... Okay, now I know that can be not always what we want, but our ideal of family. That comfort to come home to someone that just lets you let your guard down. So we have Strength, and we have the Death card, Transformation. So it could have been where, they've lost a partner. It happens, right? No one's getting any younger here. And maybe they've held back. Because there can be that idea of, wait, but I love who I loved for all that time. And now there's someone new that's stirring that feeling. Is that okay? Like, what happens if you get married, they pass away, you get remarried, they pass away, you get married again and they pass away, and then you pass away and everyone's in heaven together? Then what happens? Who are you really going to be with? Or are you all just friends at that point? Like, that always was amazing to me when I would hear, growing up in a very Christian religious household, I'd be like, well, what happens if you loved a lot of people? Different ways, but how would you choose who you would be with in the end? And what if you weren't their true love? Like, because we know the difference. You know what it's like when you're like, oh my goodness, that person I loved so much, but it never worked out. And then I married somebody else. And yeah, I love them, but it wasn't the same kind of love. What happens then? So that's why I always felt that, like, reincarnation made more sense, because we have all these experiences with different people. Sometimes we're related, sometimes we're friends, sometimes we're children, sometimes we're the parent. So it left room for, like, more of a dynamic to love different types of people in different ways. As a Pisces, okay, look, 2 of Cups and the Sun card. So, and then there's the 3 of Cups. So there's 2, there's 3, there's 5, there's 10, there's the Star. There's 5 of Cups, the relationships that don't work out, that we have to move on from. So it's a really interesting way to think about love. And where do we give our love? And when we say that we love someone, does it mean that we can't tell someone else that we love them? So thank you, Dolly Parton, for that, perspective. We're meant to enjoy our life and feel good. It doesn't mean that we just give it to one person and that's it. There's so many different ways to love. All right, so here we have justice, karma, different experiences, because that's what karma is. It's we do one thing and we experience something. We do something else and we experience something. So, every action has a reaction. So how about this? Every time you're loving to someone, it brings more love to you. And it's in that sweet, healing kind of love with the star and the chariot. It wakens that up in people. That love isn't just shared with our romantic partner or our child or our parent. It can be with so many others in different ways. So with the Ace of Pentacles, there's an opportunity here. 9 of Pentacles, so that's like the 10 of Pentacles. Just to have so much love that it just radiates out of you. That everyone falls in love with you. And you bring more love into the world. Because when someone's in love, you can tell. There's like a pep in their step, a starriness in their eyes, that the world can do no wrong. What if everyone felt that? How different we'd be living right now. How much less hate there would be. It's not just money. It's not just power. It's that sweet, innocent love that we all dreamt about. Maybe some of us have experienced it for glimmers. Okay. 4 of Wands. So we have, it's with this 10 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands, it's so much more than just a committed relationship. It transcends that. And yes, we do things respectfully and there are boundaries. Dolly Parton talked about that they never had any, sexual relationships with anyone else, but there was attraction, there was flirtation. Like there's that song Jolene. That was about a real bank teller that liked her husband. And he fancied her too. But it's different than if you build a life with someone. So if you're in that phase, Pisces, where you're considering what works and what doesn't, especially if you're in, what is that called? Midlife crisis, or like the power surge phase. It's around 41 to 45. You start thinking about your life differently, and you start to think about your relationships differently. People go out and buy sports cars or go get facelifts or who knows, whatever it is, because what you're attracted to changes. But it doesn't mean you don't care or love what you've created until then. So I know a lot of people that have wanted to break their relationship, but then realize, wait, I still care about this person. I don't want to ruin everything that we've spent, 20 years building. But it just looks different now. All right, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, this is very much about building, harvesting. It's like you put in a lot of work. The Hanged One, to surrender it. So take a minute, Four of Swords. Take a little time out, before you serve divorce papers and divide up the assets and tell the kids, give it some time. With the Two of Cups and the Sun, maybe it's some reconnection. Like, go do something fun together. It's not all business all the time. It might seem like it, but just because you're older doesn't mean you don't, or you can't have fun anymore. All right, we have the Knight of Swords, swift energy, the Knight of Pentacles, but steady. That's the thing. You can move quickly, but still be steady. Doesn't mean you're slow. It means you know what you're doing. You're methodical about it. You think about it. You plan for it. And then you act. Ace of Wands. Eight of Pentacles again. So, yeah, maybe it's flirting with someone for a long time. And not in that, let me send you naked pictures of myself flirting. But like that little banter, that little conversation, the twinkle in your eye, the flip of your hair, that looking back to see if they're looking too. I know we've forgotten how to do all of that. It's all just who looks hot on a photo that you're swiping by. And they've written their whole thing by AI. So careful. The world is a weird place. We have Temperance here, so, balance of energy. Your ancestors are here. Ask for guidance. The divine. We have the Moon here. We have the Six of Swords. So, we just had that new moon in Sagittarius. So that's about friends. Maybe it's just having more friends and not just focusing all of your info, all of your energy on one person that's not cutting it right now. And that's what Dolly Parton did. She had has a very full career, always doing something, very creative, has a big team that helps her do all those things. And then she would go home and tell her husband about it, but they'd be apart, for several weeks, months. But that's what kept their relationship fresh, because they weren't bogged down with dirty socks and toilet seats up and dirty kitchen, things like that. So maybe that's where it works for you, Pisces. You have a full life and you're really busy, and then you share it at the end of the day or week or month with someone, and you have your own life. So we have this Queen of Cups here who's very free looking. So I have the World card too. So this is like a new cycle of freedom, emotional freedom. Now, there are people out there that want control and want every aspect of you and don't want you to talk to anyone, do it, there are those people out there. So if you are in a relationship like that and you want that and you like that, then you keep doing that. But not everyone does. It can feel stifled. Five of Swords here. You know, that's where arguments, fighting happens. Control of people. Page of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. So, you know, even on social media, like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you know, Substack, what's that other one? Discord. You get to have these friendships with people that are interested in topics that you're interested in. You can, in a way, geek out, nerd out together, wolf out, and enjoy those different things. And it doesn't mean that you don't love who you are committed to. So we have the Ten of Wands. It helps you to, like, just get through the everyday burdens. Of whatever those things are at home. So that they're not just on your back all the time. You get some freedom. You get some, you know, change in energy with the Wheel of Fortune. So maybe that's what you need to do to actually help your relationship, is go have friendships and interests elsewhere. Yeah, Five of Swords, Two of Swords, that's no fun. Page of Wands, Four of Cups. It's like there's this part of you, this very creative, warm, nurturing part of you that's not getting any of that from your relationship. So go have it elsewhere. And it's like, stop trying to get it from someone who cannot give it. Maybe they give other things, but the emotional part or the creative part that you need, the physical part that you need, the mental part, you get it somewhere else. And you make time for that. So Pisces, I'm going to leave this here. Yeah, look, the Lovers. So sometimes the way you work on your relationship is by cultivating others. Like feeding that part of yourself so you're not expecting it from someone that can't give it. And just appreciate what they can give. But I do hope you get some romance, Pisces, because we all need to remember what that's like. All right? Okay, Pisces, I love you. Great reading. I hope you could see. I couldn't actually see what was being filmed, so I hope it was okay. Thanks for all the comments. The likes, that's gratitude right there. So thank you for that as well. All right, take care. See you soon.